Hello, students. Welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. My name is Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So, students, this is another exciting session that we have, and in this session, I'd like to take you through an area in writing, and that is how to write a recipe. So, recipe is one of the functional skill topics that we have in our English syllabus. So in this session, dear students, we are going to first of all start by describing or saying what a recipe is. We will proceed and look at some of the commonly used terms in a recipe. Not only looking at the terms, but again, their meanings. Then we will proceed to the format of writing a recipe, that is looking at the elements or the components that we have in a recipe. And lastly, we are going to conclude by looking at a sample of a recipe, that is to help you understand how to write a recipe better. So stay tuned. As I start, dear students, a recipe is under personal writing. And we are told that a recipe is a set of instruction that tells you how to cook something and the items of food you need for it. So it is the items that we call the ingredients. So a good recipe should be as precise as possible, because a vague one will not help one produce a proper dish. So remember, this is a set of instruction on how to prepare a given dish. So all the ingredients in a recipe, dear students, must be given as well as their respective quantities. So when you talk about quantities, we are talking about the amount of ingredient to be used. If we have salt, for example, you can specify the amount by saying either a tablespoonful or maybe two tablespoonfuls, etc. So the amounts of different items would, of course, depend on the number of people to be served. Another thing worth noting is that it is important to explain how the items are mixed, and again, for how long they should be cooked, and if possible, at what temperatures. So every step should be explained and every detail included. So any omission of the procedure or the method could be disastrous. It could lead to a meal that can't be consumed. So it is important to take note of every step, and again, you must ensure that they are explained and all the details are provided. So with the recipe, one is unlikely to be involved in culinary disaster. So culinary disaster is when you come up with something that cannot be taken. Maybe we can talk about a food that tastes insipid, probably because there is one or two ingredient missing. So the common terms used in a recipe are, uh, we have got not all but some of the most commonly used ones. So the first one that we have is refresh. So to refresh is to run cold water over food that has been parboiled to stop the cooking process quickly. Then there is also another term that is render. So to render is to make solid fat into liquid by melting it slowly. Then there is the term to roast. So to roast is to cook by dry heat in an oven. Then there is also this other term, saute. So saute is to cook and or brown food in a small amount of hot fat. So also slowly. Then there is the other term here, shred. So this is to cut or tear in small, long, narrow pieces. We also have sift. So sift is to put one or more dry ingredients through a sieve or sifter. Then there is a simmer. So simmer is to cook slowly in liquid over low heat at a temperature of about 180 degrees. So the surface of the liquid should be barely moving, broken from time to time by slowly rising bubbles. So we also have a skim. So this is to remove impurities, whether scum or fat, from the surface of a liquid during cooking, thereby resulting in a clearer tasting final produce. So there is also steam. So this is to cook in steam in a pressure cooker, deep well cooker, double boiler, or a steamer made by fitting a rack in a kettle with a tight cover. So a small amount of boiling water is used, more water being added during steaming process, that is if necessary. Then we had talked about fresh, render, and roast. So also we have terms like bake. This is to cook by dry heat, usually in the oven. There is also barbecue. This is generally used to refer to grilling done outdoors or over an open charcoal or wood fire. More specifically, barbecue refers to long, slow, direct heat cooking, including liberal basting with a barbecue sauce. So there is also terms like batter, a mixture containing flour and liquid, thin enough to pour. We have beat. This is to mix rapidly in order to make a mixture smooth and light by incorporating as much air as possible. Then we also have blend. This is to incorporate two or more ingredients thoroughly. Then we also have dredge. So this is to sprinkle or coat with flour or other fine substance. We also have drizzle. So this is to sprinkle drops of liquid that is lightly over food with a casual that is in a casual manner. Then we have dust, that is to sprinkle food with dry ingredients, that is by using a strainer or a jar with a perforated cover, or try the good old-fashioned way of shaking things together in a paper bag, among those other ones. So let's move on and look at that is the format of a recipe. So uh, in writing recipe, the first thing that you're supposed to include is the title. You should title your recipe. For example, if it is a recipe for uh, making or cooking fried chicken, then the title should simply be fried chicken recipe. Then apart from that, we have the ingredient list. So it is advisable to list the ingredients in the order of their use. So this helps the reader or whoever is following the instruction to keep track of the ingredients that have been used. So give the quantity of each ingredient, just like we had said. Another example: 4 whole chicken breasts, a quarter cup, breadcrumbs, etc. Then there is the next part, that is the method. So here we talk about how the meal is prepared. Then the steps should be easier to understand and follow. The steps are usually numbered when under this area, that is under method or procedure. The steps must be numbered systematically. Systematically. So the next is service. So under service, ensure that you list how many people to be served and what to serve with. For example, serve with maybe a beverage or rice, etc. Or you can use the other term, top with. So the next step, or that is the next component that we have under the format of a recipe, is the preparation time. So this is where you indicate the time taken for the food to be ready. So Here is a sample of a recipe. So the title, Recipe for Cooking White Rice. The ingredients that we have: 1 cup of white rice, 2 cups of water, half teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon oil. Then we have our preparation time, 20 minutes. So under method or preparation, remember they have to be numbered. They must be numbered. So the first one, rinse the rice in a strainer. Number 2, bring the water to a boil. Number 3, add the rice to boiled water. Number 4, stir in the rice, salt, and oil and bring it back to a gentle simmer. Number 5, start checking the rice around 18 minutes. Number 6, turn off the heat when the rice is tender. Then number 7, remove the lid and fluff the rice. Our next step, that is after the method of preparation, is service. So we are told that serve when hot, and again serve with fried meat. So it is as simple as you can see, dear students, and that brings us to the end of the session. Thank you for staying tuned till the end, and remember to always keep it easy, Limo. Until next time, bye.